Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a Penske fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the most interactive Steeler talk right here in Pittsburgh, everybody. This is the Two Dum Yinzers. This is actually episode 867. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Glad to be back. How's everybody today? Good to see everybody. Good morning to Cody. Good morning to Bingo on the board. Bingo says, yep, good morning, Cody. Big dog. Woo-hoo. He says, good morning, Ryan. And Ghost Mike. You know, I always appreciate Mike's work. I really do, whether it seems like it or not. But I got to be honest with you. When he was on this side of the microphone, I noticed there was a lot less issues on the tech side of things. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I know it's not his fault. Of course, we had the Xfinity issues and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it all started. It all started with Mike taking over the role at the producer position for a little while at least. And I don't know. Steeler Freak, my man. What's up, brother? He says Mike's on vacation with Roger's imaginary wife. Gang. Jamal, my man. What's up, brother? Always great seeing Jamal on the terrible board. And Tortilla. What up, man? He says Mike is Roger's imaginary wife. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Or good afternoon, depending on where you be. Cody, good morning to you, sir. Cody says this. Cody says conspiracy theory. Penn State sucks ass so bad, and they are such that Mike had to take a break from the show. He says, Mike, close. You're close. You're warm. You're warm. You're getting warmer. Steeler Freak. Good one, Tortilla. Good afternoon, Lindsay. Always great seeing Lindsay on the terrible board. Welcome back, everybody. It's a good day because there's not much news regarding the Steelers, but as Tortilla is saying on the board, it's Victory Thursday. But I do happen to have some exclusive. Good morning to Phil. He says, "What's up, Watt fans? Teflon Dawn sucks." I have some exclusive audio from apparently I'm not sorry, Mike Tomlin. John Harbaugh was on the phone all day Monday with the NFL, complaining, crying, like anything is going to get changed for one. But for two, let me play this exclusive. This is exclusive audio. This is from John Harbaugh. All week long, basically, he's been on the phone with the NFL, and this is the latest that we did get, the most accurate audio right here. And I could see his stupid face too while he was on the phone arguing with these people in the NFL. Again, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if they didn't change our 1998 coin flip debacle back in the day when it was clearly proven on screen that the call was wrong? I don't think that this guy. I mean, what are you gonna do? What do you want? What do you want to happen with these Baltimore people? Everybody gets screwed. If you're a fan of an NFL team, your team gets screwed. And one thing I do want to say is this. Boy, are we not giving enough credit. You know, we gave out game balls last week. We gave them out to the likes of James Pierre and Aaron Rodgers. He had a big day, of course. But one game ball that we didn't really give one out to, guys. Who broke up that pass in the end zone? It was JPJ. Say what you want about this kid. And you know, he gets his penalties called against him. But at the end of the day, JPJ saved that football game. We always say, come on, defense, do your thing. Make that play. Make the play when it's most needed and get that win. And what did the Steelers defense went out there and did that? JPJ knocked that ball away in just a split second before his foot hit the ground. The third foot hit the ground. So again, I don't think we give enough credit, or we gave enough credit to Joey Porter Jr. because again, that play saved the game, along with Highsmith finishing off with the sack. You know that, but out of everybody we mentioned, JPJ was one that we did not give credit to for that particular play, and it was again, it was the TJ Watt strip sack, if you will. So again, I am taking just a moment to recognize JPJ, and let me give you some numbers on JPJ this season, guys. He's given up 0 touchdowns. 0 touchdowns. You know, and sometimes we talk about this defense. Well, gee, why can't they stop anybody from doing this? Why does this team but let's look at it. JPJ this year, guys, he's given up 0 touchdowns. 0. You can't give up any less. Also, he has 12 pass deflections. He has 53.3 passer rating allowed, an interception, a sack, and under 250 yards allowed on the season for the man he's covering. So here we are, guys. We're going into week 15, and Joey Porter Jr., albeit it's not all pro numbers. When you look at other guys around the league, you look at your Patrick Surtains and got gentlemen like this. However, for a guy that we drafted to do just this, a lot of other times, the DBs in the offensive line, the less you hear their name, the better. If an offensive line's not getting his name called out, that's good, because usually if he is, it's a holding or a offsides or something that F's up the offense. But I got to say, maybe we're not giving that young man enough credit back there at corner. He was undersized, I thought. I mean, a rangy guy he was. But, I mean, what's he weigh? About $110, soaking wet. So, I mean, he came in with, he was undersized in a sense. His tackling was shitty coming out of college. I don't think anybody doesn't acknowledge this. But at the end of the day, again, he's given up no touchdowns. 12 pass deflections, 53.3 passer rating allowed, an interception, a sack, and under 250 yards on the season, guys, given up by JPJ. I got to give it to that guy because, again, he doesn't get praise. Anytime you hear JPJ's name, it's like, hey, how many penalties is he going to get? How many holdings? How many pass interferences? So I just did want to take that moment, guys, to just reflect for a moment on last week's game, talk about how JPJ made the TJ Watt play. And if it was TJ Watt, we would be holding him on our shoulders here in Pittsburgh and parading him around town. I got to be honest with you, Joey Porter Jr.'s play was just as big as any of those other plays that was made in the past by, any of these other players. So, again, JPJ, I'm high on him this week. Are you going to get your penalties with it? Well, absolutely. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're going to get, how many times has Watt lined up with his big ass head over the line, and they called him on an offside, it's a neutral zone infraction or whatever. So, I mean, it is what it is. It be what it be. And at the end of the day, I really feel that we have Ike Taylor 2.0, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You would like the nubs to grow some fingers at the end of the day to get some interceptions, but at the end of the day, Ike is back, and again, he took us through many, many years here in Pittsburgh playing that cornerback position. So again, just a little recognition, if you will, for young Joey Porter Jr. And I hope he continues it up and keeps up the hard work, because again, we're going to need him. We'll certainly need him this weekend. We'll certainly need him next weekend, guys. This is where we were 20 years ago. We were 7-5 heading into the last part of the season. The Steelers needed to win out. Albeit it's not, Jerome Bettis in the backfield. It's not Ben Roethlisberger under center. But again, it is the same position, and we are right here at 7-5. Just a couple wins away, I say, with a more favorable schedule than our arrival with the Baltimore Ravens. And I do think we could lock things up before we even play them again, guys. So it's on. It is on. This is the stretch. This is the part of the year that we dread. This is the part of the year that we complain and talk about all off season. That stretch. If it wasn't for that stretch, if it wasn't for losing 5 games to end the season, if they wouldn't have lost 4 in a row to end up the season and then lost in the playoffs, then the 5 games, the stretch. Well, here we are. We're right at the stretch. We have 1 win to start the stretch against our rivals, the Ravens, getting a win on Monday night. Coming home and getting a win, I think, is going to be a big thing for the Steelers team. For a few reasons, obviously. But you remember what happened last time we played at home. It wasn't so pretty, was it? I think if the Steelers come, they shut down the run. I don't think the Dolphins, which are a good running team this year, they're going to be able to come anywhere close to what the Buffalo Bills were able to do. The Buffalo Bills, everyone forgets, were the number 1 rushing team in the league. So go out, stop the run early, and get off the field. Very winnable game. Again, I predict that we're going to win this game, and I do want to say we are having our picks today. Derpy will be by here shortly. Finch may stop by. We'll get into some picks today, get that knocked out, and I do want to remind everybody, do make sure to get in your CBS Pick'ems. The Thursday night football kicks off Week 15 tonight at 8:15. The Atlanta Falcons travel to Florida to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's an 8:15 start tonight, Thursday night football. So again, do get your CBS Pick'ems in. It's not too late to jump in and play. It's a lot of fun, guys. Just right outside here, just click on our logo. You can click it right below there on YouTube. It'll take you to our main page. And then once you get to our main page, across the top in blue, you will see CBS Sports Pick'ems, something or other. You just click on that. It takes 30 seconds to sign up. It costs absolutely nothing. Get your picks in for the week. It's been a really good run this year. I got to be honest with you. The top's been very strong, and everybody in the middle has been very competitive. So just 4 weeks left in the season, guys. Get over there, sign up, and hop on. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Great to see everybody. I do want to say welcome on this Thursday morning, guys. We get the extra day. I got to be honest with you. It's messing with my head a little bit. I'm ready for the Steelers. I'm ready for them right now, as I always am. And knowing that we have the weekend to go through, we got to watch a bunch of other teams. But there is some good to that, because I do like watching the rival game. I do like watching the Bengals and the Ravens. I think that game is going to be – it should be really good. In Baltimore just 2 weeks ago, the Bengals came into town and beat them 27-14. The Ravens defense had no answer for Jamar Chase, and it was the same as it was when we played them. So just maybe the Ravens could take an L this week. If we could pull that 23rd or 24th straight Monday night win at home, we're going to be sitting in good shape, guys. Again, having 2 games up on Baltimore, again with the tiebreaker, with only 3 games left, and we wrap it up against them. So it's looking good. They got a tough schedule. We have not such a tough schedule, which is okay. I'm okay with that. We'll take what we can, and again, you got to start. It starts right here. You lose to the Dolphins, it shakes things up a little bit. Even if Baltimore loses, it'll shake things up a little bit, because taking the loss to Miami would be big. Damning? No. Season ending? No. Playoff killing? No. But losing to Miami could be big. Again, especially heading up to Detroit, the following week. And then if you lose to the Browns, or I'm sorry, the Dolphins, then the Browns start to look a little bit more difficult, don't they? 2 weeks down the road, that defense, I just think for the morale of the team in many ways, a win over the Dolphins this Monday night is big. For one, you got to remember this too. If we get into the playoffs, we're getting a home game. It's going to be a division win playoff. It's not going to be a wild card. Nobody's getting a wild card from our division unless something crazy happens. And if we continue to have the issues we're having at home with the crowd and the coaches and losing at home, and do you want a home game in January? Do you want that home game in January if this be the case? If this is the situation, if we're going to have issues with the coach and player personnel and things like this. So again, big game in a lot of ways. I think it's just they got to turn things around, come home, play good, get this win. Again, like I said, if you lose to Miami, going to Detroit next, Cleveland starts to look a little bit more difficult a couple weeks down the road. And again, it just leaves that door open for the Ravens. So hopefully we can get on it, get this win this week. I think it's a win. Again, we do picks today. My prediction is we will win this football game. But before we do get started moving any further, I do want to say this. This is a little bit encouraging. It doesn't mean a whole lot, but I did grab this off the internet because I thought this was interesting and because of where we want to be going with this football team. Guys, so one moment, I'll pull this up and then we will get back on the board. Very interested to see what everybody has going on today, heading into this Week 15 matchup with the Miami Dolphins. If I can pull it up right about here. Yeah, it is. All right, guys. So this is what I pulled up yesterday on the internet. I just came across it. I happened across this, guys. This was the email sent out to the ticket holders, the season ticket holders for the Steelers. Guys, this was the letter sent out. It says, as a valued season ticket holder, you have the chance to purchase additional tickets for the potential wild card playoff game at Acrisure Stadium via an exclusive pre-sale beginning today at 10 o'clock a.m. So today they are selling playoff tickets, so to speak. So there you go, guys. I mean, we're there. We're close. They're already putting plans in place to sell the playoff tickets. It's going to be a home game, as I said, the first round at least. If we move on, we will play a higher seed, and that would then change. But, and again, we're not that far behind the Chargers. So, we could end up a 3 seed, which would also maybe yield a home game somewhere else in the playoffs. And, but there you go. 4 games out, 4 games left. 3, I think, are very winnable. It's just how do you get this team prepared to play every single week and give everything they have? I think we could all agree when this team's playing good, they look nice. It looks like a team that could run with anybody, especially this year. But when they look bad, man, do they look bad. So let's hope that they can change this around and get in stride here as we do head down the stretch this year. Let's hop back on the board, everybody. Good morning. I'm glad to see everybody. I'm going to start right here with my man, Cody. Cody says, this gang, MF gang. What up, Jamal? Where you been? Yinzer Joe says, hey, Yinzers, what's up? Tyrone, gang, my man. Always great seeing Tyrone on the board. Host, I think this would be Mike. Yeah, hold on. Let me see what he has going on here. Mike's or whoever sent this. You wish you guys could find someone that loves you as much as Aaron Rodgers loves Vanilla Thunder. Just sound just like him, Cody says. Also, talking about the Hardball audio. It was exclusive. That was exclusive, guys. That was the majority of what it was you heard during that phone call. You heard it right here today on the 2 Dum Yinzers. Phyllis still says sounds like Watt haters too. Vanilla Thunderbird. Tortilla says, yes, Phil. Jamal, he says, I've been working, man. That's what we figured, dude. We know you're busy during the day. He says, I've been working at Cody and tired. Sorry for nah, bro. You're not leaving anybody hanging, man. End of days. What up, man? Also, always great seeing the end of days on the terrible board. End of days says this Steelers will win the North. Baltimore will lose 2 more games. I agree. Again, Baltimore, not an easy path. They go to Cincinnati. They lost at home to Cincinnati 2 weeks ago, 27-14. Again, not looking like they had much going on or any answers for that Cincinnati Bengals passing offense, at least. And then they got, again, the Packers, the Patriots, and they finished up with us. You gotta like we have the advantage. You gotta like our chances on that. Again, providing the right mindset shows up to the field. I don't. I have no problem thinking that we have the talent because again, when we play good, we look nice. And with this craziest league is, I think when we play good, we could run with just about anybody. So let's move on the board here. Also, Tyrone, JPJ, that's you, baby. That's right, man. Cody says, Mike, what up, homie boy? I hope you're somewhere drinking a 40. He's drinking something. I don't know if it's a 40, but believe me, there's an empty or open bottle nearby. Tyrone says, I've been hip 2 years ago. LOL, now motherfuckers know him. Lindsay says, Tyrone, clip it and send it to him. Cody says, it's cool, Jay Smooth. We've been missing you on the Discord. Tyrone says, yeah, look at the numbers. Steeler Freak, man. What up, big dog? Steeler Freak says, Mike is at the hair club for men getting it's going to take a long listen. If he's at the hair club for men, we're probably not going to see Mike for a while. I'm just throwing it out there. Don't hold your breath. That's a lot of hair club. Jamal says this. I tried to get on Discord, but it wouldn't let me for some reason. Tyrone will get you hooked up. Yinzer Joe says trying to get that mullet grown in before the end of the season. Also, Philo Steele says 0 touchdowns, but his penalties keep the drive alive that led to points. But it does. But again, isn't that part of football? I understand what you're saying. I really do understand that argument. But that was the play that was needed. That was the exact thing that was needed. If it wasn't him, it needed to be somebody else. It needed to be a strip sack. It needed to be a forced fumble. It needed to be something big. And that's what it was. So for what it was, I have to give him credit for that. I can't not give him credit for that because, again, he doesn't knock that ball out at that split second. We're sitting here at 6-7, wondering now how this is going to play out and hoping for help and all that other stuff. So, again, best case scenario did happen, and it was because of Joey Porter Jr. Jamal says, I stick with the YouTube so we can monetize it. I think we can with Discord. Tyrone, JPJ needs it. He does. Absolutely. Again, a name that a couple times a week, maybe you get some of these penalties. But again, the numbers, he hasn't let up a touchdown. There's times that we would have loved to have a corner like him. And again, is he the total package? No, he's not. But he's solid enough. You could put him in the same category as Ike Taylor. And again, if you have other players around you, and you're not, he's not going to be the best player on the defense. That's the thing. He's a solid player. And if you have a decent defense, he's going to do what he needs to do. Cody says this, James Pierre is better than Joey Porter Jr. I think that's the jury's still out on that. We have to wait to see. I got to see more James Pierre. Yeah, he's been playing out of his mind the past couple of weeks. I mean, he locked down Jamar. He's been doing a lot of great things. The interception against Lamar, his cousin last week. So yes, James Pierre's stock is certainly up, but I'm gonna have to see a little bit more because again, it's still early in those big plays for him. So I'd like to see some more. And you know what? I think Steeler Nation would love that. Tyrone says JPJ clamps, man. Mike Tomlin, good morning, Coach. Coach says this. He says Artie Burns was better than JPJ. The wise words of Coach T this morning. Tyrone says this. Thank you. He does, dude. He doesn't get enough credit. Again, he hasn't given up a touchdown. We'll take that. Yinzer Nation says JPJ and Pierre have become a nice under the radar cornerback duo. They sure have, man. And it says something about the future too. We got a couple of guys. We got a couple of guys young, a couple of guys striving, a couple of guys trying to make their way, and they're looking good. Mike Keaton, Tyrone. I'm sorry, Mike Tomlin. You would say that. Joey Porter John. Steeler Freak says Tyrone is in his glory. Lindsay, okay, Tyrone, big on Joey. Absolutely, man. I mean, if he wasn't a Penn State guy, I'd be a lot bigger fan of Joey. But that's the way the chips fall, and I just can't like him any more than I do right now. But I acknowledge that he's looking really good, and if he keeps it up, good things are going to happen for him and this team. Also, Tyrone says, hell no, it's about time motherfuckers stay hating on my dog. Been told. Jamal says this. He says James Pierre is better than JPJ. Tyrone also says, but Noah says he won't get paid. Yeah, right. Tortilla, Darius Slay is better than JPJ. Black Magic, Jamal says not racist. LOL. Noah racist. I got it. Corey says this. JPJ hurt himself with penalties. He doesn't allow touchdowns, but he can't truly excel until he look. And here's the thing I think about when I think of somebody like JPJ. He's still in his first contract. You know what I mean? He, he has potential to continue to get better. And I always use this example, and I understand a lot of people, they tune in from out of the area because they love the Steelers. But there's an example that I always use for it goes back to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Back in the early 2000s when they drafted Marc-Andre Fleury, this dude, I didn't even know if this guy would be able to make it in the league. He was a lot of plays that would make you think for a young guy, this guy just ain't going to make it. And he ended up becoming one of the best goalies in the history of the league. I mean, tops in the league. So, that's just one thing. If he continues to work and continues to stay at it, and apparently, it seems like he has his dad's work ethic. So, if he continues in that direction, I think he could do some great things in this league. And considering he's still in his first contract, it just makes you think that things will only get better. And as he continues to grow and learn in the league, some of them penalties could be cut. And again, his skills are invaluable. So again, high on Joey Porter today. Let me finish Corey's comment. Sorry about that. He excels until he looks at his technique. His lack of technique is costing the team penalties. Let me ask you this. Do you think maybe a new defensive coordinator? I know there's positional coaches, but a lot of complaints about Terrell Austin. Could that be something that can be fixed with a new defensive coordinator, somebody that comes in and really knows what they're doing? I think so. Again, I'm the penalties could go. But you know what? If he didn't have the penalties, he would be at the top of his game for his age, I think. And that's just kind of where he is right now. And I think he will continue to improve. Tyrone says, y'all ain't getting me. Nice try. Tomlin says this. I wouldn't go that far, Tortilla. Mike T accurate on the board this morning. Tortilla says this. He says Darius Slay is better than JPJ, of course. Mike Tomlin was in response saying I wouldn't go that far. Yinzer Joe says if the Ravens can beat the Dolphins 28-6, the Steelers. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just have to look at other times other teams played other teams. And you know what? Yes, it's not foolproof, but again, you get a pretty good idea. You know what the Ravens have. You know what they're playing like. You know what they do well. You know what they stop. You know what they could do. And you look at a team like a game like that and see, you know what? The Ravens beat them 28-6. Things like this definitely have me feeling optimistic about this game on Monday. It's just getting out of our own head, I think, is the key. I really do. I think the key of this team doing well and continuing to play well and being consistent is getting out of their own effing head. Get out of their own effing head. Because when they, again, as I said earlier in the show, when they look good, they look good. When they don't, boy, they don't. And what's the difference? Lindsay says this. JPJ only has 4 penalties. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I see. And again, with what we're saying, I'm saying his penalties are his downside. And Lindsay, I have no reason to not believe her. She's saying he only has 4 penalties this year. And if that's true, I mean, come on. Corey says that allows for other quarterbacks to give up touchdowns in goal line situations. Tyrone says Corey, he locked up your favorite wide receiver. Corey says Brandon Eccles is better than JPJ. I got to give it to Brandon Eccles too. We gave them guys credit yesterday. We said Brandon Eccles and also James Pierre have been a delight this season. And again, you bring in big name guys like Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey and names like this, and the two that are making waves are Eccles and Pierre. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's bad because you like your stars to do what they're getting paid for. But at the end of the day, if they're not, at least these other guys are stepping up, and Brandon Eccles and James Pierre certainly have been as of late. Jamal says Brandon Eccles better than JPJ. He's a dog. Cody says this. Mike Tomlin for life. Tortilla says this. Corey Trice for life. Corey Trice is on the IR for life. Man, I hate that. I love him. That's the reason. He's just another rangy corner, and I like them rangy corners. Very unfortunate with what's going on in his career so far. Cody says, just kidding, fire Tomlin. Andrew Joe says, Asante Samuel should be, and you know what? Everyone keeps forgetting. I keep forgetting about Asante Samuel. He's been activated. And I'm going to get into just a moment here. We did have roster moves and activations and demotions and all these things yesterday. We will get into that in just a second here. But Yinzer Joe says he should be playing over Pierre. You know what? If he was here for the duration, he probably would be. Just with the situation and Samuel just getting here. And, it's sometimes it's like pulling teeth for this coaching staff to put players out on the field, close to immediately. Some players do, some players don't. Kyle Duggar right in. Other players, so again, whatever the reasons are, we don't know. But we do know that sometimes you just wonder where the hell these guys are. And Roman Wilson, obviously, being a name earlier in the season. Corey says that Tyrone, I wouldn't say lockup. Now, I will say some of his defensive pass interferences were ticky-tacky calls, but he has issues turning his body to adjust coverage at times, which I feel is something that is fundamental. And that's another thing I think about this team. It's a lot of fundamentals. Do the little things well, and they add up. You know how if you do a bunch of little bad things, it adds up, and then it's like, at the end of the day, it was this, and that, and that's why we lost. It happens the other way too. You do enough little good things and do the fundamentals right, and pay attention to detail. It goes such a long way. A lot of times guys go out there with the uniform, the name, and they say, you know what, we're going to win this football game. But the fundamentals a lot of time is it could be very key in football, certainly. Cody says Jamar Chase. Ferry. Lindsay says, yes. Sandy. Corey says, which I feel is something that's fundamental. Absolutely. First position is very fundamental. You're right. Jamal says Tomlin winning a Super Bowl this year, then dipping and will win another one somewhere else. You know what? If he brings the hardware here first, I'm all aboard. And again, if he does, I'm willing to change my mind on this. I'm willing to change my mind on Mike Tomlin. If he could turn things around and start doing anything other than what's been going on for almost the past decade, I'm on board. And I would be willing to change my mind if it would continue to happen in the right direction. I just don't know how many times over the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years that we felt that things were moving in the right direction. You were coming to the point when Ben's career was coming to an end, and I was like, what are we going to do next? Life after Ben? I didn't even know this even existed. Life after Ben. We could have managed that a little bit better. Anything to make you feel like you're moving in the right direction is what I'm saying. Tortilla said there might be some more Steeler fans outside of Pittsburgh. There might be more Steeler. You know what? I agree. I think the Pittsburgh Steeler fans outside of Pittsburgh, their support is unwavering. They love the team no matter, and so do the fans in Pittsburgh. They just handle it differently. Not any better, not any worse, just differently. Jamal says the ungrateful Yinzers. Also, Jamal says, what up, Big Tortilla? Cody says Cleveland beat Miami 31-6. Cleveland beat Miami, and that doesn't surprise me. Miami only scored 6 because Cleveland does have a tough defense, and I will give it to that defense every time I can because it is tough. The Browns are clowns, and there'll always be clowns, but I do acknowledge that defense is extremely difficult. But again, there you go. Cleveland beats them 31-6. What was the other one? Baltimore beat them 28-6. You look at things like this and you say, you know what? If we come out again, we don't shit the bed. This should be a win for the Steelers. Tortilla says a home playoff game for us is away until we win a playoff game. You're right. We need to win the playoff game at home to get the support for a home playoff game. But after we win the playoff game at home, we'll be going on the road. It's kind of shitty how that whole thing plays out. Win to get the support, but then you win, then you go elsewhere, so you won't get the support. So, gang, Jamal, what's up? Tortilla, everybody. Yinzer Joe says they just need to stay focused and take. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's all about staying focused. I truly believe that with this team. When they look focused, they play well. When they come out and they just have that look, You know the look. And you're sitting there in the second quarter and you're thinking, geez, this isn't going to get any better. This is what today is going to bring. Hey, I know we all know that feeling. Get back to Yinzer Joe. Sorry about that. He says they just need to stay focused and take care of business. They're painting the end zones, color rushes on, and tributes to Ben, etc. It's gonna be our night. Steelers don't lose on Monday night. And you know what? That's many great points that you just mentioned, Joe, because you just mentioned a few weeks ago when we played the Colts, or we've talked about, and they had the whole entire 2005 20-year reunion Super Bowl Steeler team. It does something up here. And on Monday night, and in Pittsburgh, and the crowd, and the cold, and just so many things are playing in our favor. And again, the golden end zones this weekend, the throwback, the color rush uniforms, which I find that it's going to be the black helmets. It's going to be black helmets with the all black is what I think. Yellow numbers, black pants, yada, yada, yada. I was under the impression they were going with the yellow helmet with the logo, but apparently from everything I'm seeing, it is the regular black helmet with black jersey, yellow numbers, and black pants. So it's going to be something special. And also was mentioned is it's going to be they have the induction to the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Honor. The Steelers are also that night inducting three people into the Hall of Honor. Of course, Joey Porter, we were just talking about his boy a couple minutes ago. Joey Porter's going into the Hall of Honor. Also, Marquise Pouncey, another big part of the Super Bowl squads, and Big Ben. So it's going to be one of those kind of nights. If you're a Steeler fan, I think. Listen, I'm not saying that to leave your Tums at home. By all means, take your whatever you need to take for that kind of thing. But again, I feel very, very good about this game, guys. I do. Again, I think this win goes a long way. It really does, and not a better team to have in this situation. Because you win this game, then you have 3 games left with, again, potentially a 2-game lead and a tiebreaker. It's all but over at that point. So big win. Miami, the guys are in town. Hall of Honor. Ben's there. Pouncey's there. Porter's there. End zones, uniforms, weather. I'm just saying, guys, and also for what I'm seeing on the board, the teams in our division have been wasting the Miami Dolphins in the games that they play. So that's a good sign. Miami is improving. They are playing better, but their schedule has gotten weaker as they started to win more games against the Saints, the Jets, teams like this. So again, I think this should be a good game for us. Stop the run, get off the field, and continue to play offense the way you did. Get out of your own head. That would be my advice. Get out of your own effing head. Go out there and do what you do. I mean, some of these guys won Super Bowls. Look at Jalen Ramsey. Come on, just get out there and do what you do, man. Right here. I'm gonna go right there. Steeler Freak says this black magic must be a weed strain name. Well, if it is, it sounds like a good one to me. All right. Somber, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Somber on the terrible board, my man. Aaron Jade as well, dude. Aaron Jade says, here we go, Steelers. Always great seeing Aaron. Cody says, damn, the gang is back. Y'all fucked. Lindsay says, do you get money? Do you get your money back if it doesn't happen? Bingo, my man. Bingo says this. I think we'll beat the Dolphins, but it will be closer than that's what I'm thinking. Is there anything that indicates the Steelers can blow anybody out? I don't think that it is. They're going to win it in their Steeler way. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. You would like it to not be this, but again, anytime that we won a Super Bowl, we won Super Bowl 40, just kind of doing what the Steelers do. A gadget play here, a questionable touchdown by Ben there. So again, that shouldn't surprise us, but I agree, Bingo, 100%. It's going to be to the end. It's going to be the last drive. There's going to be heart attacks. It's not going to be anything different. But again, I think as Steeler fans, we know this. I do want to say good morning or good afternoon and welcome to Johnny V5H on the board. Welcome to the terrible board. Johnny says Steeler Nation representing from Mississippi. What's up, man? Always great seeing people from the South Mississippi. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome to the terrible board. Hope you're ready for the big game this coming Monday. Corey says, I think we'll see Will Howard in week 18. And you know what? If we clinch week 17, we better see Will Howard. There's zero reason to play Mason Rudolph that in week 18 if we do wrap up the playoffs in week 17, which is very possible. This is what's going to be required. If we beat Miami and then beat Cleveland, you could use the Lions in this equation. But again, I'm just assuming that it's going to be pretty difficult to beat the Lions. So if listen, we're in the playoffs in a couple weeks if this happens. If we beat Miami and then beat Cleveland in 2 weeks, and the Ravens lose to the Bengals and the Packers or the Patriots, which again is very possible. If those, I just think of the team that we just played. Just put it in that perspective. So if that happens, we won't have to. The Week 18 won't matter. The Ravens game won't matter, and we'll be the team that gets to sit our starters in Week 18. And again, I think it won't do any justice if they don't play Will Howard. What's the purpose of playing Mason Rudolph in Week 18 at all? Simply due to the fact that Will Howard got no snaps in preseason. Will Howard hasn't played a snap all season. You got to take a look at what this guy has before you head to the draft, which is coming in April, guys. So, one real quick thing. I do have some draft news. They're changing something. They made a quick change. So if you like watching a draft, and I know a lot of people will be watching it this year, they changed the first round, guys. It's no longer a 10-minute rounds or 10-minute picks. Every team has 10 minutes to pick. They actually shortened it by 20%, guys. Apparently, the first round picks are only going to be 8 minutes. So if you hate sitting around waiting for the 31 other teams to pick, that actually gets a little bit better as the draft changed their first round rule. No more 10 minutes on a pick. It is 8 minutes now. So just side note that I thought was kind of interesting moving forward. Decent seats are $500, Somber says. Steeler Freak says some folks have to help pay Watt's contract. Right. Wasn't for Watt's contract, these tickets will be about, what, $35. Somber says you can stream Discord on YouTube. Jamal, no excuses. Tyrone says all I ask is JPJ to lock up their one. Jalen Waddle's they got a nice little team. It's nice. Again, I mean they are 6-7. So as bad as they were to start the season out, they're sitting right where Baltimore is, the team that we just beat. Again, Baltimore didn't start great, but again, 6-7. The Dolphins coming in with that record. Cody says Joey Porter knows Tyrone. Pierre is almost 30. That's true. That's Mark. How you doing, brother? Always great seeing Mark Malone on the terrible board. That's true. He is almost 30. I always forget this. But still, nonetheless, he's playing good football. Somber says if you had to rebuild the Steelers, but you could only keep 5 players, who would they be? That's a really good question, Somber. If you're to keep 5 players and you were building a team, I would have to sit here and go through guys in positions in offense and defense, but it's definitely something to think about. Tyrone says, yeah, JPJ, been my favorite player since he came in the league. I don't know. I just like how he plays for real, and he's got better every year, and his dad no, there's no reason not to like JPJ. Jeez, oh man. Hey, you don't have to apologize for that. He's going to be here for a while. I do believe this. Mark Malone says Frazier, McCormick, Fry, P. Wilson, and Skoranek. Hey, that's the 5. Yeah, I think so. He's joking, but not about Frazier. He says, Tyrone says Sombers would be Frazier, Troy, Fatanu, JPJ, Watt, DK, Jamal. He says I'll call you later. Today we'll talk through it. Mark he said Mark isn't joking. Somber says I know Mark from this terrible board. I know he's not joking. He says that is who we would pick. Cody says Wade thinks Marquise Pouncey. He's still our center. End of the day, Steelers should beat the Dolphins, who lost. You know what? Logic would say that, and I'm kind of using that as well. Not as my main argument or my main reasons to think that we could win, but I do think that certainly is something that you could look at and say, you know what? The team that has no offense like the Browns, they managed to put a whooping on them, and then again with the Ravens beating them as well. Steeler Freak John says this is what my 5 looks like if I was to rebuild a team. Number 1 would be Mason McCormick. Number 2 would be Zach Frazier. 3, Troy Fatanu. 4, Harmon. 5, Brandon Eccles. No Pierre because of age is what he is saying. Also, running backs and wide receivers are a dime a dozen, so they don't make the list. I would focus on the offensive trench. And that's a smart way to do it. That's the way maybe you should. Maybe start from the inside out. Steeler Freak says, and prepare for the next quarterback. And I got another question. I seen something this morning. There's some speculation, and I don't know why this name keeps coming up. Maybe somebody could help me. But they're talking about just in some Steeler rumor sites I was reading, and only again because it's coming up. It's came up often with the quarterback talk in the last season. We were talking Jackson Dart and the draft and this and that and all these names and Sam Darnold moving and Danny Dimes moving. This one I keep seeing, and I don't know if I like it. Kyler Murray. There's a lot of people that just keep pulling that name out of saying Kyler Murray's probably not going to want to go back with the car. Well, why would Kyler Murray be our guy? I don't get that. Don't you want to go with maybe the youth and get a guy? I don't know. I'm not understanding the Kyler Murray interest. Again, it's been for a period of time. If it was once or twice, even 5 times, I wouldn't even say nothing. But here we are again. I'm still reading. Kyler Murray could be a perfect fit for the Steelers. Kyler Murray. Tyrone, he says he's locked down. LOL. Last 4 games, he allowed 3 catches, 30 yards. My guy. Jamal says that's crazy work. JPJ. Somber 77 today. Damn. Man, where's that at? That'd be wonderful. 77 would be effing wonderful. Cody says life after Ben is hey, you ain't kidding, man. And I called that around 2010. After I realized we had our franchise guy, I said, you know what? There's going to be a time that we don't have this anymore. I don't want to think about it, but there's going to be a time, life after Ben, and here we are. We're smack dab in the middle of it, guys. John says the media companies like PFF have JPJ in the middle of the NFL. Do they really? And as I said, for what he is, he's doing a good job. Somber PFF is only good for stats and mocks. Their rankings are pretty shy. They really are. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on with their rankings. A little bit of a head scratcher sometimes when you're trying to figure it out. Andrew Joe says, well, to be fair, I didn't think I'd ever see life after Neil O'Donnell took them to the Super Bowl, had some ups and downs with Tommy Gunn, Maddox also. But we lived in that weird time, though, Joe. You know what I mean? We're at that age where the biggest thing in our Steeler life was Neil O'Donnell. This guy was completing passes. This guy was moving the team down the field. This guy was getting points. This guy is getting us to the Super Bowl. So it was kind of different in a sense. He wasn't the quarterback, the franchise guy that Big Ben is, of course. But I totally get what you're saying. And yeah, absolutely lived through that as well. Lindsay says, way to brag, Somber. I let my ass off. It's like below 0. Yeah, it sucks here, man. Tyrone says, cold in Ohio. I could imagine over in the Dayton area. Tyrone says, I got to look at the weather forecast. For the Browns game, absolutely, dude. I was thinking about you last night, man, with that Browns game. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Johnny says this from Mississippi will be snowing in the Berg Monday night. You know what? It may not be snowing, Johnny, but it is going to be 18 degrees. And we were going over some numbers yesterday on what the Dolphins play like, and it's not good. I think their numbers are very, very dismal. Matter of fact, whenever we do play, if I have it right in front of me, which I don't think I do, their numbers are terrible. Terrible playing in December up north, and even worse playing just in cold weather in general. Again, 18 degrees. Their record is bad. And I'm trying to just think off the top of my head, what was it? 40 degrees and below, it's really bad. So this one, again, guys coming from South Florida, they're millionaires. Can they get it up? Can they get up to playing to the level they need to play to in a 18-degree city right off the river? So you get that cold as well, so as well. Johnny also says this. Okay, I see. Go. Hey, what's up, Ken? It's Shady Grady, everybody. Look at the board. Shady Grady is back. I do want to say welcome back to Shady Grady, back on the board, my man. He was bringing it the other day with the Baltimore Ravens talk. He said he wasn't a fan, but welcome to the show. Also, Lindsay says TJ supposedly in the hospital with a lung discomfort. I did not hear. I did not know. That's crazy. I didn't know that, Lindsay. Thank you for that scoop. Shady Grady says Steelers not winning the Super Bowl this season. So, and Tyrone says, what? Shady Grady says Steelers Super Bowl teams didn't have to get a lead and just hang on to it to win games. I don't know if you watched any Super Bowls, but not many of our Super Bowls were really blowouts. They were all one-score games pretty much. Miss Pittsburgh, I do want to say good afternoon. She says good afternoon, everybody. Here we go. That's right. Getting ready for the big game. The extra day is killing me, though. The extra day is killing me. Shady Grady said the Steelers this season get lucky and take leads and just try to hang on to games instead of. And again, Shady, hasn't that been the case your whole life? Have you ever seen the Steelers not be that particular style? That's basically the only thing I've ever known. Steeler Freak says TJ must have been watching Steelers D run tape while smoking a blunt. Corey says that's dope. Let's call Monday unis the blackout unis. And that's what it is. I think they're kind of playing it like a blackout thing. So maybe the crowd, they all wear their blackout stuff. It could be really cool. A cool look on Monday night, especially with those yellow seats, you know. Tyrone, bro, what the fuck? Also, Lindsay 1-11, not good. Tyrone, he'll be fine. Still a few days till we play. Also, he says Monday night, so it's all day to chill, get better. Lindsay says we'll see. Phil says this 1-11 without him. Boom on the field. 1-11. Talking about without what? Couple more. We're going to read a couple more messages and we will get into some different topics here. Change direction a little bit. Andrew Joe says, I'm sorry, but Tomlin will not play Howard over Rudolph. If he has to for the last game, maybe he'll put him in the second half or the fourth quarter or of the game, but never start him. I don't think he'll start. Maybe in that last game of the year, maybe that's what it'll be. Maybe Mason will start to kind of get the show rolling. But who knows? Who knows? Mark Malone, yeah, Pierre should have a couple 3 good years left. I'd try to sign him up. And the Browns beat the Dolphins. Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. So unless we go out and just and lay one of them eggs that we do every now and then, which I hope we don't, I would like to see potential for a couple some consistency, a couple games where you play good football, you win some football games. We got to get back to that, especially if we want anything to happen in January. Yes, we want that one playoff win, but damn it, if they could do more, we'll certainly take it. Bingo says, am I being selfish for wanting a sound beatdown W? What is that for this week? I would love a sound beatdown W. We're due, right? When was the last time? I think the Giants game last year was the last time we actually beat someone. You know, we beat someone down. Maybe the Colts this year. Mark Malone, yeah, there's no more 5'10" quarterbacks. Richard, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Richard on the terrible board. Richard says, yeah, Murray is too short. And I've always thought that too. I always thought he was kind of a little dude. Mark Malone says Murray would be perfect for the Browns. Bingo, Kyler Murray is not a better option than Howard. No way. Jamal, oh my God, I'm on the phone with the saddest story ever. Shaking my head. Man, what's up, man? What is this? What's going on here? Okay, Ryan McPherson, I do want to say what's up to RMAC. TJ will be okay. 4 days to get right. RMAC says if we can clinch the division by the last Baltimore game, they have to play Will Howard, right? Especially not after not seeing him all year. I think that you have to. I just, how can you not take advantage of that situation and being able to do that? If you don't, I think that's just another drop of the ball by the coaching staff. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Lindsay says, good thing we have good hospitals here in Pittsburgh. We do. We have some of the best hospitals on the planet right here in Pittsburgh, guys. So again, I'm just getting this news myself. I hope everything is all right with TJ. So we will see. And they play Monday night, as Tyrone's saying. So they do have the extra time to get back to health. A little bit of scoop around some quarterbacks of interest for us, guys. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is looking like he's going to get the start out in Las Vegas this week. Came in last week to replace Geno Smith. Kenny Pickett throws looked like a 30-yard touchdown. I just seen the footage once or twice, and it was a nice play. So our boy Kenny Pickett getting the start against his old team, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles this week, guys. So we'll be keeping an eye on Mr. Pickett. Also, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts becomes the first player in the history of the NFL to turn the ball over twice on the same play. Speaking of the Eagles, did anybody see this play over the weekend? He throws an interception, and then the guy returning the interception fumbles, and Jalen Hurts recovers it, and he fumbles again and loses it again. It was officially the first time in NFL history that one player turned the ball over 2 times on one particular play. I thought it was interesting. A lot of people, again, when the Eagles are playing good, they talk about how great he is. I still don't see it in Jalen Hurts. I think if he didn't have a good team around him, I don't think he wins that Super Bowl. But again, anyway, just relatively quarterbacks that we have relative interest in being here in the state. And then finally, has anybody seen this? I know that Corey was here, and Corey is our resident conspiracy theory expert, guys. Has anybody noticed anything weird about Joe Burrow? Did anybody watch the Thanksgiving game when they won in the big win in his first game back, and all the players are eating those turkey legs and crab legs and everything else? Something about Joey Burrow is different. I don't know what it is. Yes, he was bizarre before. I get that. But just the demeanor in his eyes. There's something up with Joe Burrow. Whether at the time that he's been off, he's been swooped away by the Illuminati and probed or whatever the hell happened to him. He looks like a whole different person in his eyes. Just watch Joe Burrow from now on, guys. Again, may or may not be anything. Just a small observation that I made on the side. But again, since he's been back, Joe Burrow has a look in his eye. I don't think they're going to get it done this year. Taking the loss to Buffalo put him behind the 8 ball last week. But again, Joe Burrow, he's due for a big season, and you just see it coming. If he can stay healthy, that's the big key for him. Also, get on. Make sure you get your Pro Bowl votes, guys. Our players need your help. Chris Boswell's still not into the top 10 kickers in the league, which I think is crazy to me. Get on. Make sure you get our guys voted into the Pro Bowl game. Ben Skoranek is leading the way as far as special teams players, not kickers, things like this, but special teams players. Ben Skoranek leading the way with a few other guys doing very well. But again, get in there, get your, Joey Porter played well this year. Also, Chris Boswell, his name's still not in the top 10. Get on and get your votes on for the Pro Bowl picks for this year in the NFL, guys. Jump back on the board here for a couple minutes so we don't get too far behind. I think I'm going to go right about here. A little Kyler Murray talk going on. Right there. Somber says, I think Murray rumors are because people don't know if Rodgers is returning, and they know Tomlin likes his vets. I've heard Murray and Mac Jones thrown around. What do you guys think about Mac Jones? Alabama quarterback, already been moved early in his career. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, Mac Jones, but that's a good question. I think that everyone just assumes that the draft's coming here and we're going to go after our franchise quarterback, get the young kid and groom him in. But what if we get to that point and they say, well, there's just no quarterbacks that are worth. How many years can we go through this kind of stuff? Well, there's just no quarterbacks that are worth it in the draft, and we'll just sign another veteran as we've been doing every year. Or there's just no wide receivers available and that anybody that we would like, so we're just not going to even touch it this year. I don't know if I understand that logic. When you got to make a move, you got to make a move. If it's not what's the chances that you're going to find the most perfect situation? Come on. It's life. You got to make shit happen, man. They got to do something. If they bring in another veteran this year on a 1-year deal, I don't know what I'll do. And maybe Aaron coming back to kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Corey says, I'd take Mac Jones over Murray. Arback says this, I'd take Mac Jones over Kyler Murray as well. Somber, I would too, but if we're talking Mac Jones, just play Will Howard. That's what I'm saying. What about the guy we have? Tortilla, I'll take Mac Jones. Really, what am I missing? I know that he was out of Alabama. I know he was up in the Northeast. He's already gotten moved. He's out west. Everyone seems to be taking Mac Jones in the between these two guys. Throw up or why? I'm just not. I don't know. I would like to be a little bit more informed on that. Phyllis still says Burrow signed with Death Row. Lindsay says I'll take Tortilla over Kyler. Jeez. Bingo says Burrow hasn't been right since his house got robbed. Dude, there's something. He looks like the kid from Children of the Corn. What was that little dude's name? That's dude. That's what Joe Burrow looks like. He freaks me out now. He's freaking me out, man. Freaking me out, man. Steeler Freak says any veteran quarterback and college kid who has 1 million chance of being in Pittsburgh next year will be discussed ad nauseum during the offseason. Armac says, yeah, we should go with Howard and have a rookie play the season. Lindsay says, definitely somber with your height. Armac says, how likely is it that Rodgers comes back? You know what? I think that it all comes down to, as I said yesterday, I think the way this season turns out will temporarily help or lack thereof decisions being made. Again, they're going to talk about, the extension. You're going to talk about the 27 contract for Tomlin. Also, this situation. So I think a lot depends on how this season finishes up with Aaron Rodgers. And, if it's strong, let's say they win 3 of these last 4 games. Let's say they get into the playoffs and win a playoff game. And then and we lose a close game in the second round. And Aaron Rodgers comes up to the podium after the game and says, I would love to come back next year. I know that we're going to go after somebody young. I would love to come back, fill the position, and help with the team. I think it's very possible. If shit goes to ruin here over the next month, I think that it could possibly go the other direction. We play Miami Monday night. We get booed out of the stadium, go to Detroit, get our asses kicked, drop one to either Cleveland or Baltimore, don't make the playoffs, or get another one and done. So again, I think it's going to ultimately, it has to play out in its entirety. I don't think the last 4 games are going to be what makes the decision, but I think getting the last 4 games played will certainly go away in making these decisions. Tyrone, Ryan, you're doing great, bro. Somber, I don't know, man. Rodgers is so wishy-washy. I know. And get this, here's another thing. Remember Rodgers came here and we said, it kind of sucks. We'll take it because, he knows what he's doing. But he's going to pass Big Ben. And some people didn't care. Other people did care. And I was one that kind of cared. I thought, that sucks, man, because I love Ben. I've always been a Ben fan. He's done such great things here. But here's something else interesting, guys. Not only did Aaron Rodgers pass Ben, but Phillip Rivers, who signed the practice squad in Indianapolis Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever that was, he is only right behind Ben as well. So him coming back, I forget what the amount of yards. It's, I think, like 648 yards. 648 yards. If Phillip Rivers comes back and throws 648 yards this season, he also passes Ben on the all-time passing list. And not to mention, there's a player that's active that could very well do the same thing. Matthew Stafford is only 925 yards from passing Ben on the all-time list. So again, if you're kind of amused or enjoying the entertainment of these older guys, now a 44-year-old quarterback coming back to the league in Phillip Rivers, just know he is only 648 yards away from passing our Ben in the all-time passing yards. And records are made to be broken, but it sucks when the guys are coming back and breaking the records. And Aaron did it on our team, so it was a whole thing. But at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, guys. Let's get back on the board here. Joe made it known he's not happy with just playing. He wants to win a Super Bowl, no matter if it's with the Bengals or elsewhere. Let me ask you this, guys, and it's probably very impossible because it's way too much money. Would you like Joe Burrow being a Steeler quarterback? Yes, his skills are unbelievable, but he's built of glass. Would you just be down for paying him money, Joe Burrow? He's gold when he's healthy. He's gold, nothing short of gold. But keeping him healthy has been the issue so far with him in his career. Would you be interested in Joe Burrow here in Pittsburgh? Also, let's see. Fitness Addict 1974. I want to say welcome to the Terrible Board. Great to see new names and new faces all the time on the Terrible Board. Fitness Addict 1974 says this. More players than we know sold out. I'm a conspiracy. There we go. Here we go. We're talking my language. I'm a conspiracy realist, and you're definitely onto something with Joe Burrow. But another guy who was sold out, I believe, was Pickens. I don't have any problem believing that either. Welcome to the terrible board, Fitness Addict. I love the comment. Corey says, I'm going to look into Burrow. He's probably been all. That's what I'm saying. He was gone for a long time. You remember when Dave Chappelle came back from Africa? He was over there for like ever. He was having great success with his show. Disappears forever, comes back. He's a whole different person. He looks like a whole different person. His body's just different. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. So keep us up to date on that, Corey. Sometimes these guys, they go away for a while. They come back a whole different person. Somber says one game he looks 30, the next game he looks 50. Armax says this. He says it's the San Francisco effect for Mac Jones. Tortilla says I'm fast. He says I'm faster than Kyler Murray. But the real question is this, Tortilla: do you play Call of Duty as good as Kyler Murray? Right? Steeler Freak Rogers says Rogers is currently ranked 26. He had one flash game. I would let him walk. He isn't winning them a ring. And I think that's ultimately, if they sign him, I don't think it's going to be out of necessity next year, John. I think it's going to be either you brought the young kid in the draft and he, it's going to be good to have him around, or they're going to finish up nice with a little momentum and take that good momentum into the offseason, sign him for a year and say, you know what? He knows enough. He did enough. He got us 20 plus touchdowns this year so far. Let's go with the veteran. And if he wants to do it, I can see it working out, especially if they do get that quarterback in the draft. And again, Will Howard. So there's a lot of question that goes into that, man. It really is. But I do agree, John. It's going to be. I think the mood of this team as this thing wraps up is going to play some kind of role. Fitness Addict says Corey Beavers, you're on to something. Pickens also. Yeah, Corey and Fitness, you guys could crack some codes. Believe me, I know Corey at least. And let's see, Arback says this: Burrow has always had that manner. I feel like that's why I made the point to say he's always been weird. He's always been weird, but there's just something. He's really, really children of the Cornish as of lately. I don't know. There's something. Just pay attention. I'm just going to leave it at that. I want A-Rod back is what Tyrone is saying. Also, Christophus, what's up, dude? Christophus says we're drafting Ty Simpson. Fitness says, and Jackson Dart, why they always were wearing women's designer clothes when showing up to games. Humiliation. I mean, if you follow that narrative, it makes sense. And I know exactly what you're talking about. Phil the Steel says Belch, my man Derpy was Derpy 501. Okay, so I'm assuming this is really Derpy, just because I can't understand the context of it being written. I'm one text, the next text, get on soon. Sorry, but yes, Derpy will be in. We do have picks today. RMAX says, nah, that's just fashion. Derpy says something came up as soon as I was done with the trailer. I'll be on for picks soon. Mark Malone, get that strap on out of your ass, Derpy. Christopher says Ty Simpson or Carson Beck. Armax says I've been all for us signing Rodgers since Ben retired. Steeler Freak says money makes money. Companies give players clothes because they know they will be filmed walking into the stadium like they need free shit. Tortilla, I like Simpson over Beck, but if I can, I'm going in a different direction. Also, Phil the Steel says it's a two Dum Yinzers tradition. Everybody at Ryan Burps put a Belch on the board. Two Dum Yinzers, terrible board trade. It is a tradition. There's no two ways about that. Tyrone, no the ops. No on Burrow. That is what Armac is saying. He would not like to have Burrow here. Field of Steel says, heck yeah, I trade Teflon Dawn for 9. Joe Burrow, of course. Tortilla says, I'd take Burrow in a heartbeat. And it always comes down to that critical thinking. You're like, well, I'd like to have him, but he's injured and this, and he won't be available. But, look at some of the situations we have now and we've had. I mean, that would be a huge upgrade. And again, if we can keep him healthy, what an asset. Steeler Freak Rodgers can play against teams with no rush. Absolutely. And that's a problem. I was thinking of this as well. When we get into the playoffs, that's going to be a problem. Teams that play defense like the Chargers did. Teams that play, even the Bills. teams that Aaron isn't going to be able to save today. Those are my concerns. So they just have to really focus on fundamentals, doing the things that they do well, and getting through these games. But you're right. I mean, we certainly have Achilles heels. We don't have just one Achilles heel. We do have Achilles heels, and but everybody else in the league does too. This is a very odd, inconsistent season. So that's the thing that's keeping me going. Yinzer Joe says if we had a good offensive line, I'd be on the Burrow. But as we sit now, no. Fitness says, glad to be here. Thank you for the wow, my man. Glad to have you. Tortilla, I'd rather have Burrow with a bad offensive line than no Joe and still have a bad offensive line. Lindsay says Burrow is injury prone. Tortilla says Burrow isn't that bad. RB, what's up, brother? Always great seeing RB on the terrible board. He says Burrow is the new breed of quarterbacks. The NIL is going to kill football. Why would you play 10 to 12 years when you already made a millionaire at 18? I agree. I'm kind of up in the air with this NIL as well. It's just going to affect the game. And listen, I'm not against these kids getting money. I'm not against anybody getting money. If you could do your thing, do your thing. But it's going to change the game. It's going to change the game, and I don't know if it's going to be for the better. RB says these kids don't love football. These kids are talented, and they understand it's a way to make a lot of money at a young age. Yinzer Joe says Phillip Rivers ain't breaking nothing but his hip after the first game against Seattle. He'll retire after that. Mike T for life. Jamal. Also, RB is saying this. He says, also, I'm told that TJ Watt received a shot for a back injury. Is it back injury? From the team doctor, and the shot went too deep and punctured his lung. This is what happened yesterday. So this is what Lindsay was talking about. This is news to me, guys. So again, if you're pulling up this information, RB says this: TJ Watt received a shot from an injury from the team doctor, and the shot went too deep and punctured his lung. So there you go on that, guys. RMAX says Colts will beat the Seahawks. Sodom and Gomorrah, bro, is what Jamal was saying. Steeler Freak says Burrow has been having a secret affair with Roger's wife. That is what the reason Mike is missing. Somber says doctor fired for sure. Yeah, come on. That's crazy. Armax said this is the year for old guard quarterbacks. Tortilla, Burrow doesn't get injured, but he still had one of the best years a quarterback could have last year. If he had defense, they would absolutely. The defense was so bad, unfortunately for him. Bingo says, I genuinely believe Howard will prove out to be better than Burrow. Burrow way too expensive for his availability. Any team that doubted DK will beat us. Any team that doubled DK, will beat us. Steeler Freak, BM777, correct. The Ravens didn't okay, to Jamal. They paid all day. Tyrone, not with Adam TMV. You know what? And another thing I thought also last week, didn't you think that Aaron looked a little bit more comfortable in the pocket? Didn't it seem like the first week in a while he wasn't jumping around back there? Didn't it seem like he didn't have happy feet for the first time in a long time? I've noticed it when Thielen and Martin and MVS was on the field. It seemed like when he has them veterans out there, there's just a sense of calm. Because a couple things, the offensive line is, it's having issues, and we're down to the third or fourth string left tackle, but he seemed more calm in the pocket than he's been for quite a few weeks. And again, just makes you wonder if these veteran wide receivers, which again, why we don't have any wide receivers is beyond me, but bringing these two guys in, if that's what it took to get us settled down, then we'll take it. But just something that I noticed last week, he didn't have them happy feet for the most part. Stood in the pocket, threw the ball downfield, and especially with the broken wrist, I mean, people were concerned, is he thinking about the injury, whatever. So I was kind of encouraged by that. And maybe that's what it was, just bringing in these veteran wide receivers, running good routes. And Cody says some of the Smurfs broke out of the basement. Derpy is outside in his underwear chasing them around. Right here, Fitness says, I'm telling you, Watt has been playing injured. Oh, there it went. Injured this year. His brother, same back issues, I'm sure. Bingo, awesome. Give Watt the bag, and the team doctor give him effing Blood Eagle. Unfucking believable. Tortilla, thank God it's just Smurfs. Steeler Freak John says keys to beating the Steelers: sell out, stopping the run, double DK, and apply pressure on Rodgers, but don't blitz him so he can't win with his brain and must hang in the pocket or dump it. Or B, am I wrong thinking that losing Watt isn't a big deal in 2025? I mean, what has he really done? I think Herbig and Highsmith both have played much better. I agree. But Lindsay, she answers it and Tyrone. They're both saying they're 1-11, 1-11 without him, though. So it is debatable. It would be nice to have a debate on the show if a couple of debaters would like to get it together. I think you know who I'm talking to. Zach Stone, I do want to say welcome to the terrible board. Zach Stone says this: Rodgers is calm because he was on perks with the broken wrist. That makes a lot of sense. Zach Stone, good comment. Mark Malone, I gave the Watt man the last of my private reserve of keyboard duster, and this is how the MFer pays me. Bingo says, well, he does demand attention, RB. Yeah, he does. And that's an argument as well. He demands attention. So John says Rodgers looked at Ravens film and knew they couldn't pass rush. RB says, am I alone thinking losing TJ Watt isn't a big deal? Highsmith and Herbig have been better this year. Like it or not, it's true. Lungs are overrated. Tortilla says lungs are overrated. I hope TJ's okay. Tyrone. Lindsay says we're 1-11 without TJ. So I would say, you know what? I you know what? I don't know. That's a good question because I think that Highsmith and Herbig could be fine. I think the wheels on Herbig, and I think he's still at the point where he's really trying to prove himself in the league and trying to get contracts and get raises. And I don't know. Again, they're right. And he does amazing things sometimes. But as of late, if you go with the hot hand, maybe Herbig gets in there in one of these situations and causes a fumble or whatever, because of course he does it as well. So let me just check here on Derpy. Okay. Derpy's trying to get in. He's trying to get a hold of Mike. Let's go next here. Lungs are overrated. Tortilla. He could hold his breath. Just bring him in on that. That's what I'm saying. Third down. That's what I'm saying. Would it hurt? Would it hurt on running downs? I mean, on running downs to not have TJ in there if TJ comes in on third down and just rushes the quarterback, because a lot of times, he will run past a run play. He will run past a running back. He'll run past, to get to the quarterback. We've seen that before. Master debaters. That's right, baby. Somber says the master debaters. We're waiting for you to get this debate on. RB 1-11 without TJ on bad teams. It's 1-11 because you pay $120 million to one guy that also takes talent off the field elsewhere. That's true. Say what you want about TJ's production, but it hasn't been great this year. It's definitely been one of his down years, and that goes all the way back through the five game losing streak to end the season last year. So you're taking all this money and you're giving it to him. You're not getting the production in return, and you don't have any of these other positions that you could use money for to improve your team overall. So that's why I would love to have the TJ debate on the show, because I think that both sides have very valid points. I do want to say welcome to Derpy. I'm looking at Derpy. I'm staring at him now. I don't know what he has on his head. Is that a Santa hat?
This is the Santa hat, but it's Star Wars.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I just got it. Early present.
You look good, man. So how you doing, Derpy?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, despite TJ Watt, I'm doing great.
Yeah, I didn't know about this. I'm seeing this
It
now.
literally just happened 20 minutes ago, dude.
Really?
Yeah, they announced it.
Oh, man. Today is pick day. Derpy did stop by. We're going to get these picks in pretty soon, guys. Let me take a look around through some notes, see what I got here. The NFL.com, they do have the Steelers. They picked the Steelers in the 10 picks. They did pick the Steelers to win this game 6-4. 6-4. So again, a little bit closer than we would like to expect. But again, we're not a great team. We're not, 6-4 they're giving us. I think we ultimately do win this game. I think we're ultimately better than this team. But the NFL.com did give us the edge 6 votes to 4. Kyler, we got through him. JPJ, we got through him. Let me ask you this, guys. This, there's this revenge game theme this year. Let me start with you, Derpy. Between Minkah Fitzpatrick, who went back to Miami, and of course Jalen Ramsey, who came here from Miami, which one of these two players is more likely to make a play to cap off this game, to finish off this game with a big play, as both of these players have been known to do in the past? Which one of these two guys would you lean toward seeing making that big play to close a game off, to finish the other team off? Jalen Ramsey or Minkah?
Probably Mika, but it probably won't make a difference. That's how bad Miami is.
You know what
I mean?
I do know what you mean, but I do know this. I don't know if we're good enough to overlook anybody.
Right.
Does that mean I don't think that we could beat them? Does that think I don't think that we're a better team? No and no. But again, I just don't think that we should be overlooking anybody. We're not that good of a team, as most teams aren't this year. You can see that there's a lot of inconsistency. But Derby, I really think that this they got to play, as I say every week. This has to be the biggest game. Yep. This has to be the biggest game of the year for them. Otherwise, it's
if they bring the energy like last week, they'll be fine. But
and also a lot of things going on, as mentioned on the show, Derpy. Yellow end zones. We got the gold end zones. We have the color rush uniforms. We have Joey Porter. We have Ben Roethlisberger and Pouncey getting inducted into the Hall of Honor. So a lot of those kind of things that played to our advantage earlier in this year in the Indianapolis game. A lot of those things that always bring the Steelers the football, the favor of the football gods. They're going to be in the house on Monday night, and again, I just don't think we can look past Miami. We got to play this game tough.
I agree.
Let's see, guys. Hey, here's something that kind of caught my attention that I'm uneasy about. I'm a little unnerved by this comment. Jerry Dulac, who's a good beat writer here in Pittsburgh. Jerry says this. He says
some wild takes.
Well, this comment, guys, let me know what you think. Now, this is something that's been said on our charitable board, and I hate to hear it. Right. I hate to hear it, and here's why. Jerry Dulac, after a conversation with Art Rooney II, he says this is Dulac says Rooney understands fan frustration, but he sees a team that's been in first place nearly all season. What does that what does that mean to you when you read between the lines on that? It means that
it means they're competitive.
It means to me that they're not.
Nothing changes.
Right. And it's consistent with, we've been giving Tomlin the shit for the past how many years. And people came in on the board and they said, you know what, Rooney's just as much as at fault. And I said, you know what, he is. But if Art Rooney II thinks that they played well enough this year to not go out and make big moves or continue to try to help this team improve, that's a huge problem. A huge problem. And again, when it's the owner, what do? We could chant till we're blue in the face about our head coach and anything else. But for Art Rooney to think that things are going well because we've been in first place all year, I don't like. I mean, again, I'm a little unnerved by that, Therapy. Let's get back on the board, though.
I mean, Rooney? This new Rooney, he's the business mind. He's not the football IQ mind, if you know what I mean.
They need to keep these business minds out of sports because they're effing up everything. They're effing up our baseball team. They're effing up our football team. And again, if Art Rooney II thinks things are going good, right? Again, maybe we should back off the coach a little bit because what's he going to do?
Right.
I didn't like that. I read the article and by Jerry, and I just thought, that didn't sit well with me. John says this. Rogers looked at the Ravens film and knew they couldn't. We did get that one here. Let's take here a little bit. All right. Tortilla says he can just hold his breath on third downs. Steelers Freak says I would send TJ one of my lungs, but it is more weed burnt than Slay playing corner.
Game ball. That might be game ball.
Tortilla says, rub some dirt on this shit, man. Get it back out there. Put some water in that shit. Field of Steel says, didn't happen versus Ratbirds. He shut down a couple of runs quick. He did. He did. He shut down a couple of runs. I certainly acknowledge that. TJ, of course, he's talking about. RB says, this TJ Watt used to be great. Used to play the run well. Used to pass cover well. Now he's pissing in a pissing contest with other pass rushers, and it's all he does: crash the edge and chase the QB. Would you agree, Phil? Would you agree that maybe some of those other qualities have maybe dissipated over the years? And not entirely, but again, he used to be a pretty good all-around player, and just wonder your thoughts on that. Tyrone says, my dog, RB, constantly ignores his run gap and the halfback in general to crash the quarter. That's what I'm saying. How does he even get to the point where that's acceptable? Lindsay says, guess we'll find out if he doesn't play. Yeah, how unfortunate, man. Again, this Tortilla saying the medical staff must be investigated. There you go, Derpy, right there. Jamal says, what up, dog? What up, big Derpy?
Wait. Boom. There we go.
John says, this Derpy is that likable, easygoing guy whose goal is to beat Dahmer's body count. John, he really knows you. Vegas says, King Derpy in the house. Mark Malone, Thunder's probably behind this. Tyrone says, RB, stop it. This team can't build anyway. LOL. How about you give him a MF and offense for once in one average year? Oh my, he also plays with 5 other good defensive linemen, and he carries his franchise. Lindsay says, Tyrone, it's not worth it. Tortilla, how fucking far you got to push the shot, doc? What the fuck you trying to do? I mean, come on, to get into somebody's lung, to puncture a lung, you're in there. Fuck.
But he punctured his. That's what happened?
Yeah, the doctor stuck the needle in for whatever procedure, and it punctured his lung. Steeler Freak says the doctor now has a police escort. Somber, he doesn't give a single fuck. Tortilla, it means Rooney understands we suck, but we don't suck as bad as our rival, so it's okay. AK Rooney Rich, and not you.
Well, Vegas that guy lost his job.
Vegas says there's not Rooney the third. I don't know. I hope not. At this pace, he thinks that this is good enough. Meanwhile, we're just skating through the season, waiting for it to get over, hoping things go well so things can get better.
Right.
And the owner thinks this is good enough. Bingo says, damn it, I'm tired of this bullshit good enough mentality. Lindsay says, Rooney doesn't care what the fans say. John says, Jerry Jones talks too much. Art Rooney talks too little. We never know what he's thinking. Typical lawyer. Phil says, no thoughts. Boom. We'll make that play. Boom. He says once again. Jamal likes your hat, Derpy.
Thank you.
The hat. Also, Vegas says JD was Jeffrey Dahmer was literally eating kids, and they made a show of it. So who the fuck watched that? Weird as fuck. Tortilla says Izzy must have got hired on the medical staff. Corey says, I've been saying that all offseason. TJ is constantly chasing the ball carrier because he over pursues the quarterback. He has tunnel vision and he isn't reading the play. That's what I'm saying. Why isn't he reading the play anymore? Why? When did that become acceptable? When did it become acceptable for a guy that's holding down the corner, that's sealing off the corner, to just take off any given play? That's what I'm saying. Why isn't he reading the run play? Now, again, and I have a feeling that Phil's going to stay. He did this past week. He did. And I'll give him that. He did stop some runs, and they were nice, and he caught him pretty quick in the backfield. But that point is valid. Tortilla Wild, John says this, 8853, and other teams know how to play him. Tortilla, man, when I say TJ needs to step up, I didn't mean try to kill the doc. I didn't mean try to kill him. What the fuck, doc? Vegas says no banners for winning the division or for going over 500. Mark Malone says, I'm guessing the doctor had to get whatever injection he was shooting beyond the pleura, but fucked up and nicked the lung. Jeez, oh man. Talking about somebody not doing their job for getting paid a lot of money, right?
Right.
One guy doing it to the other, and doctors get paid a lot of money. The fuck up like that. I mean, it sounds bad, right? It just sounds terrible. So what else we got here, Derpy?
You-
We did have a few roster moves yesterday. Let me go through these roster moves. We do have to get into the picks of the day. Of course, do not forget, and Jamal, this is highlighted with your name on it. Do not forget to get in and get them CBS pick'ems in this week, bro. I just hate to see you fall behind. I noticed, I think Tyrone passed you this week. So don't forget to get in, get them picks in, brother. And because the games start tonight. They start tonight, Thursday Night Football. It's going to be Atlanta at Tampa Bay tonight. This is what happened over the past 24 hours with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They made 4 roster moves. They signed free agent offensive tackle David Sharp, former Charger, to the practice squad. Also, they promoted offensive tackle Dylan Cook to the active roster from the practice squad. Of course, Dylan Cook came in last week and got his first taste of playing action after the injury to Andrews Pete at left tackle. The Steelers once again released running back Trey Sermon from the practice squad, and they placed offensive tackle Calvin Anderson on the injured reserve. He will be eligible for activation anytime after week 18. So only if the Steelers make the playoffs, his season is not over. So that is for Calvin Anderson on the IR. He will be eligible to come back for the playoffs. So we do know that. Also, the Steelers did sign offensive line Doug Nestor back to the team, and he will be available as well as the offensive line. Kind of thin to begin with, Derpy, but now with these injuries, I like I said, I think we could be on our 4th string left tackle this weekend, providing if everybody doesn't stay healthy. And you don't like that. No matter what situation you're in, you don't like having your backside tackle be that far down the depth chart. Let me take a couple more looks here, guys, and we are going to get into these picks soon. Again, don't forget Hall of Honor inductions on Monday night. Joey Porter Sr., Marquise Pouncey, and Ben Roethlisberger all being inducted Monday night into the Hall of Honor at Acrisure Stadium. Again, gold end zones, color rush uniforms. Guys, these are all things that says this place is going to be bumping. It's going to be good vibe, and hopefully it can keep the Boo Birds at home. Let's get this win, keep the Boo Birds at home. Then we'll worry about Detroit next week. But guys, we're in the best position that we could be in at this point with what we have and what we've been through. So a couple more looks here real quick. Make sure I didn't forget anything, Derpy. And we are going to get into this. Derpy, I don't know if you caught what I had said earlier. They're changing the draft. First round is only going to be 8 minutes per pick.
I did see that.
I like that.
Me too.
I like that. It seems like it's way too, and especially the first round. Most people know what they're going after, especially the first 5 to 10 picks. They know what they want. They know who they're going after. So those 10 minutes seems a little excessive to me.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah, please.
Well, Penn State fans, it could be worse. You could be Michigan right now.
I didn't even bring that up yet. What? You know what? It got worse.
It got worse, dude.
Okay, so if I can, let me just say this. Okay, so the Sharon Moore got fired from Michigan by having an inappropriate relationship with somebody within the business, his staff. But get this, after he was fired, Sharon Moore went to her house, grabbed a knife, threatened his own life, and threatening her life, and that is what led to the arrest of Moore.
He found him in a church.
So there you go. Talking about effing your life up, and
right.
My God.
It was comic relief to me, just because I'm a Buckeye fan. So.
Oh yeah, the big you with those Buckeyes. One more thing, guys, before we do hop over and to get these picks in today. Get this, guys. The Steelers were great in the 70s, but you know how the Miami Dolphins could have made the Steelers even greater?
The reaction.
Get this. If the Steelers would have beat the Miami Dolphins in 1972 in the AFC Championship game, a game that we lost by only 4 points, 21-17, that undefeated Miami's Dolphins team would have never existed.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, they went undefeated. 14-0 the schedule was.
Wouldn't have been nothing if they didn't.
So we could have been even greater. Can you imagine if they would have won that one particular game? You would have had the Immaculate Reception a couple years back. You would have had 4 Super Bowls. You would have had all these Hall of Famers, and you would have been the team to stop Miami from getting that undefeated season, guys. Again, the Dolphins win the 1972 AFC Championship game over the Steelers.
You got to make history.
21-17. It was that close. The Steelers were for messing up the one undefeated season in the NFL in Super Bowl era.
Yep.
So there you go, guys. Christmas 2 weeks from today. I hope you have all your Christmas shopping done, your decorations up, Derpy. But you know what? Right now, we're going to focus on picking
I'll be in
football
Florida
games.
again, man.
Are you heading to Florida for Christmas this year?
Again. Remember last year I went last year too.
I do. I remember you went to Florida. I didn't remember that it was Christmas time, but that's good, man. That's awesome. You looking forward to it?
Yes, I am.
I was thinking about going with you. I got to be honest. This cold sucks. Every
does.
year I hate it more and more. I truly do. I
It's not
used
even
to
gonna
like.
be warm now. It's not even gonna be warm. That's the sucky part. It'll be like about 60, 50.
I used to like the cold weather. Then I was okay with the cold weather. And then I was like, the cold weather. Now I hate
The
the cold weather. I like it for my squad, for my team, for other teams
Right.
to have to come here and play in it. But for myself,
You just get sick instantly. It's crazy.
and there's a million things that comes along with it. You can't just up and walk out of your house and do something. There's a process for everything in the wintertime. You gotta bundle up. You gotta put extra clothes on. And then if you drive, you're scraping windows and shoveling sidewalks and shoveling your car out of the snow. And you open up your door and that big gust of snow always lands on the seats.
Yep.
And there's a whole process. And you know what? As I get a little bit older every year, it's becoming less tolerable. But again, it's home. It's Pittsburgh, baby. It is what it is, and it be what it be. Let's get into some picks for this week, Derpy. I hope you're ready because these are tough. I got on to look at the
I haven't
CBS
looked
picks
yet.
because I still have to get on. And I got to be honest with you, it's going to be difficult. Derpy, put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board, we're getting into the picks of the week. Derpy, here we go. We're not going to take forever. We'll kind of blow through it, but nonetheless, let's get rolling tonight. It starts with the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Derpy, who do you like in this football game? And I swear, I've never taken Atlanta again. They effed me about 5 weeks in a row this year in my picks.
Is Baker playing?
As far as I know, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, give me the Bucks.
All right, Buccaneers on that, guys. That game is tonight. Tonight, don't forget to get your CBS pick'ems in because action does start tonight at 8:15. Second game on the list, Derpy, the big game for us, 1 o'clock on Sunday, the Ravens at the Bengals. Who do you like in this football game?
Give me the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals too.
Give me the Bengals.
Armac is taking Atlanta. Tyrone's taking the Buccaneers. Atlanta just effed me too many times this year. They just effed me too many times. I have no more faith in them. Armac is also taking the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals. Derpy's taking the Bengals. Derpy, next 1 o'clock game is the Raiders at the Eagles. Kenny Pickett gets his first start against his fellow teammates. Of course, the quarterback, the first quarterback ever to have 2 turnovers in one play. One play, of course, past last week. Jalen Hurts committed 2 turnovers on one play. What's that?
Eagles bounce back.
All right, so you're taking Eagles over the Raiders. I would never, under any circumstance, take the Raiders in this particular game either. I go with the Eagles as well. Next game on the list. Goodness. What? This better be very important, Derby. What?
No, I'm just saying.
Tell me,
there's 2 games that I'm looking at right now that are crazy.
Okay, I thought you were off on another subject again.
No.
So next game right here, Cardinals at Texans. The defense of that Texans team is tough. They're beating good teams with that defense. Cardinals, not
Texans
so much.
Are confident right now. Give me the Texans.
I'm taking the Texans as well. The Raiders on the board for Armac. Tyrone has took the Eagles in that game. Next game on the list, this should be a good one. In theory, at Arrowhead, you got the Chargers traveling to play the Chiefs. This is also a 1 o'clock game on Sunday at Arrowhead.
This is tough.
A game for me because again, the Chargers are the number 3 seed.
This is tough, Ryan.
No, not the number 3 seed. They would be playing us. They're the number 5 seed. And Kansas City sitting at 6-7, Derpy, and not in a playoff spot as we speak.
That's
Who do you like?
Herbert's questionable.
You got Omarion Hampton's back. You got the running back. So, I mean, they got some downs. They got some ups. Who do you like? At Arrowhead Stadium at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
I said Herbert is questionable right now. Justin Herbert's questionable. So
who do you like in this game? Who do you like, Derpy? Armac got the Chiefs. Tyrone got the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs as well.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to go stick with the Taylor Swift Clan Club.
Also, next game. This is another huge game. Playoff implications for us as well. Just simply by the placing of the hear me out. Next game, 1 o'clock, guys. The Buffalo Bills go to Foxborough to take on the
Crazy game
Patriots.
again.
I think Buffalo wins this
I
game.
I do too because they got him in the first half or the beginning of the season, but I think the Bills will
I
are
don't think
tough enough now.
I don't think New
Beat 'em.
England's a good enough team to beat Buffalo 2 times in the same season. I know
Exactly.
Buffalo struggled, and they have been
Right.
struggling, but again, they got a
They
number one
found their
run.
confidence.
Well, then they had the number one running attack and Josh Allen. For that reason, I go Buffalo. Armac, Tyrone, myself, Derpy, all going Buffalo on that. Next 1 o'clock game, the Jets at Jags. Any chance you're taking the Jets in this game, Derpy? Jets at Jags.
What kind of question was that, Ryan?
All right, I'm just gonna put us all down as Jacksonville. Jacksonville hosting the Jets. On that, I'm taking Jacksonville as well. NFC East matchup, Derpy, the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is back versus
The battle of
versus Jackson Dart and the
mediocre. I mean.
boys. This game is going to be played in New Jersey on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Derpy, Commanders at Giants. Armac's actually taking the Jets on that Jags game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Commanders at G-Men.
Honestly,
No, I want you to I want you to bullshit me a little bit here.
I'm. It says Jaden Daniels is out.
Oh, is he?
It says he's out with an elbow.
All right. Who are you taking, Derpy?
Commanders ain't shit without Daniels. I'm giving the Giants.
All right, Derpy goes G-Men on that. Armac also takes G-Men as well. Next game on the list is the last 1 o'clock game on the slate for Sunday afternoon. The Browns at the Bears. The Browns at the Bears.
You know,
I think this is a very interesting game.
As much as I hate Cleveland, I'll laugh if Cleveland beats the Bears. Just
I think Cleveland has a great chance of beating the Bears.
I just don't like the Bears either. So.
Because it's what it's going to come down to is the Bears defense,
right?
In Cleveland offense, because I think that the Cleveland defense is going to do their thing. They're going to be able to stop Chicago's offense. So I think the big matchup comes down to what the Bears defense in the offense of the Browns could do. Everybody's going Bears on the board. Everybody's going Bears. Derpy, I'm going to stick with you. I'm saying Cleveland on this one. I say the defense of Cleveland is enough to win this football game. I'm going to go with Cleveland. 425.
Cleveland too.
425. Panthers at Saints. Panthers kind of hitting their stride a little bit this mid to late part of the season. Saints won a game last week over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Derpy. So they are playing in their own way good football as well. Derpy, Panthers at Saints.
The Saints got lucky last week. I mean, the Bucs had no Baker Mayfield, so give me Panthers. Panthers are much more. I mean, which is crazy to say. You know, right? It's crazy to say that the Panthers came out of nowhere and
they're much improved.
7-6, dude. So give me the Panthers though.
I can't see the New Orleans Saints winning 2 games in a row. For that reason and that reason only, I will be taking the Panthers. They're just a better football team than New Orleans this year. 425, Derpy. Now this game is massive. If you're looking at NFC powerhouses,
right?
The Lions at the Rams, Detroit at LA. Derpy, who do you like in this one?
I like LA.
All right.
Stafford, and like I said, I don't think the Lions are that good anymore. They're competitive, but they're not like elite anymore.
I don't know. The reason I don't think they look elite is because the whole league, nobody looks elite this year.
Right.
It's very well parodied. Gibbs is still going to be almost, he's one of the tougher running backs to stop. St. Brown, such a great receiver. And that defense, come on, Aiden Hutchinson and company. This will be a really good game in LA. I am going with the Rams in this particular game, as you are, Derpy. But again, I don't overlook that Lions team at all. I still think that they're really good. Again, for whatever reason, the league evened itself out this year.
I think we could beat the Lions in Detroit, honestly. I really do.
All right, interesting. We'll have to make sure we have that conversation next week. 425, Colts at Seahawks. Colts proving not to be the team we thought they were. The Seahawks, they're doing some pretty good things over there. That defense, Sam Darnold.
Give me Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
All right, you going Colts on that? I got Seattle in this game.
just because I just want to see if they do win. You know what I mean? Nobody will pick them,
Right.
and it'll be hilarious if he did win.
All right. I'm sorry. Armac also. He's taking the Colts as well. So you're not alone. Tyrone got the Seattle Seahawks. With me, guys, this one here is Super Bowl rematch from I was probably 19 years old, 20 years old. The Packers at the Broncos in the 90s.
That
Rematch
was a
today.
crazy Super Bowl.
Two first team place teams, Derpy, one from the NFC North, one from the AFC West. Broncos, Packers at Mile High. Who wins?
I think the Packers win because I think after beating the Bears, they've gotten their confidence back.
Listen, Denver's defense is really good.
I know it is.
And I'm just making my point. Denver's defense is really good,
Their
but
offense isn't that good.
I think that Green Bay is just a better football team than Denver is. Green
Right.
Bay's going to have a hard time moving the
Yes.
ball and doing things because that defense is so strong. But again, I just think the Green Bay, all in all, is a better football team, top to bottom. I think they win this football game. Couple games left, Derpy. Here we go. Sunday, 425, last 425 game. Titans at 49ers. Titans at 49ers. This should be a breeze, Derpy. Who do you like in the Titans at 49ers?
Give me a place where Super Bowl, I believe, 60, right? Is it 60?
It is 60.
That's crazy. Where Super Bowl 60 is being played, give me San Francisco.
All right. I'm taking San Francisco as well. Sunday night. The Vikings at the Cowboys. Two teams that are very underwhelming this year. Two teams that
Battle of
I
mid.
say didn't live up to their what you thought they were. Again, Cowboys are under 500. Say what you will about the George Pickens move. Might have been one of the worst trade, whatever the argument may be. But with George Pickens, they're 6-7. Without George Pickens, we're 7-6. Do what you want with that. Derpy, who do you like? Vikings at Cowboys.
JJ McCarthy's ass, so give me the Cowboys.
All right. Cowboys on that. I'm probably going to take Dallas too, as much as I hate them and hate picking them.
Right.
I mean, Minnesota they don't have it this year, unfortunately.
No.
So I'm going with the Cowboys as well. And finally, Derpy, we're going to go with this, and then we're going to get a score from you as well for the tiebreaker. Miami at Pittsburgh. Who wins, and what's the score going to be for your tiebreaker for the week? And also, don't forget to get your tiebreaker in on the pick'ems as well. Sometimes you forget that, and I think it messes it. Like last week, you were tied with a couple other people. You would have been ahead of them had you done your tiebreaker. But let's get back to this, Derpy. Dolphins at the Steelers.
Give me your Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. What kind of score you got on this game?
23-10.
All right. There you go, guys. Armac agrees with you on the board. Tyrone saying 28-16, the Bird. So there you go. I'm going to put the picks away until at least Tuesday. We'll pull them back out. But again, that doesn't change anything. Be sure to get on and get your CBS pick'ems in as Week 15 does start tonight as the Falcons travel to Florida to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you got, Derpy? Anything before I do start the wrap-up process as we are rounding third today?
Yeah, two things.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm wearing my Superman shirt.
Where's the cape? I seen the shirt.
I lost the cape, dude. I lost the cape.
Whenever we got together for the Charger game, I said, Derpy, make sure you bring your cape. And you said,
I lost it. I couldn't find it.
Derpy, where can it be? It's a big red cape with a big yellow S on it.
I don't know.
How does this even happen? How does one lose that, Derpy?
I'll have to get another one.
But you look all right, looking good, man.
My point was that the Supergirl trailer dropped today.
Oh, that's the big thing, huh?
Yeah, and then tonight, I don't know if you promoted this yet, but tonight, me and Finch are gonna be doing a watch party for the Game Awards on the Yinzer Network. If anyone wants to tune in, so
that's true. Check them out. But my question is this: Didn't you just do a Yinzer? I'm sorry,
No, it was like a voting thing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, but this is the actual show.
Gotcha.
Tonight.
So tonight at 7:30.
Yep, 7:30. Yep, and then the pre-games we start at 7:30, and then the actual show starts at 8. So.
All right, sounds good. Let's catch up on some of these messages before we do start getting ready to wrap things up today, Derpy.
You did.
I don't want to I don't want to leave anybody out.
You're good. You're good.
Let's see. All right, here we go. I think I know. I think I know.
Mark.
I think I
Mark.
know exactly where we're at. So just bear with me there because I'm getting to that point. I have to catch up. Steeler Freak John says 8853, and other teams know how to play him. Tortilla, man, when I said TJ needs to step up, I didn't mean to try to kill him, Doc, with the F. Vegas, no banners for. Okay, I think that's where we left off. No banners. Mark Malone, I'm guessing the Doc had whatever injection he was shooting beyond. Okay, we did get that as well. All right, here it is. Tortilla. Tortilla says we let Mason Rudolph give the shots, huh? That's one way to win the position. Mark Malone, it's a fucking small space. To be fair, Steeler Freak John says this Vegas. If the team wins a playoff game, many will be satisfied. I won't. You know what? And that's a really. It's interesting that you say that, John, because if they would win, if they get to the playoff game and win a game, some would say, you know what? That's a step in the right direction in the big picture, and that's kind of something I always talked about with Cowher's tenure. But on the other hand, the inconsistency with what's been going on with this team, it's not going to make us feel a lot better, I don't think, if they go and they get the win. It's just kind of where things are at right now. For years, we were like, just get a win. Just get in, get that win. Now it's almost to the point, like, if you get the win, it's like, well, did we just finally get a win? And it is what it is, and things really didn't get fixed. So that's a good point, John. It's going to be hard to figure out if we're satisfied with what's going on or not. A lot of people still won't be. Some people will be. Nonetheless, very interesting. Corey says, I think that they do give banners for winning the division. They probably give something. Armac says, I just joined the. Okay, sweet, man. Welcome aboard the CBS Pick'ems, Armac. Good luck, dude. It's a lot of fun, man. Lindsay says, yes, they do. Oh, the banners. Okay. Vegas says, I'm not flying back home to watch a team that won one playoff game. Mark Malone says, I'd stay in Vegas too. Tortilla, TJ needs you, Vegas. You're our only hope. Armax says, who we're on right here. Vegas says, we were fucked then. Tyrone, like and subscribe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Also, Armax says, I hope ESPN shows the Hall of Honor ceremony. They might. They might. Mark Malone says, Steeler Freak probably put a mill on it. Lindsay says, not without TJ, we're not. Tortilla with the F. Tyrone, whoa, I didn't know that. I think that was talking about the Michigan coach. Getting finally caught up on that. Tyrone says, Ohio State, baby, back to back. Bingo says, LOL, let's go Buckeyes. Tortilla, man, Michigan cheating on and off the field. To Michigan, you're right. It has been a rough few years for them, huh? With the cheating and this, and geez, oh man.
You gotta have a very low IQ to do that, if especially for how much you're getting paid.
It's hard to say, man, anymore. The world is a different place. Armac says, I could only live in the cold where there's a transit system. John says Derpy is going to try out being a professional gator wrestler. Bingo says, snow on the seats. LOL. Glad to know it's not just me. Oh, dude, I hate that. That gust of snow, and then you're wiping it with your hands, and the snow's getting in your sleeve. The whole thing. I got all the picks in here. John says, I want to see old man Phillip Rivers and play and win. That will make Joe Flacco feel like ass. Somber says Commanders coach should be fired for letting JD play last week with their record. Lucky his injury wasn't that serious. Bingo. Beard going to have at least 3 picks. John says, I live in Vegas and I don't bet. Thank God, or I would be one of the people one of the underground homeless people here. The NFL is bipolar this year.
You would be the guy from Vegas Vacation who finally won the money and then he dies. If you've seen that movie, it's a classic.
Absolutely. Corey says, I told you guys in preseason that the Panthers were going to win a lot more this year. I think they finish 8-9, and in 2026 is going to be the year of the Panthers. They'll finish 10-7 next year. Hey,
We'll see.
I know a coach that could get them a 500 record if that's what they're looking for, right? Corey says they are definitely on the rise. They remind me of the Lions on the come up. John, I don't watch college. Does anyone know who the kid is, who won for the Saints last Sunday was? A fluke? What is his background? That's a good question.
It was the guy. It was the quarterback we
Shock?
show. Yeah, we won or mentioned, and then
Yeah, we certainly talked.
Mike said like, no, I don't want that bum.
Yeah. Tyler
So,
Short is what Corey called him.
yeah.
Tyler's show. Steeler, he caught my eye. Where did he play? Yeah, we talked about him in the offseason last year. He was one of the people that was possibly in our crosshairs. Tortilla, oh mama, I can hear you crying. You're so scared
Yes,
all
sir.
alone. We got that. We got some Renegade on the terrible board. Phil is still saying Steelers 3, Tuna Fish 2. Another game under the Teflon Dawn. Steeler says, okay. Aaron is not the oldest quarterback in the NFL. Now he is not. Philip Rivers, 44 years old, albeit still on the practice squad. He's not active yet.
Right.
It is what it is. He is 44 years old. Mike was just 40. Mike was just 44 like last week. He had a birthday. He was literally 44. He just turned 45 within the last week. Same age. So, I mean, that just kind of puts it into perspective for me. Vegas says nobody cares about Supergirl Derpy.
You shush, Vegas. You shush. They care about it.
Mark Malone, Derpy was flashing chicks in the neighborhood with a cape, lost it in the bushes.
That's exactly what happened, Mark.
Tortilla, Lex Luthor stole Derpy man's cape in the neighborhood. Mark Malone says, I'm drunk. Yes, we'll get into trivia in just one sec, Phil. Yes, Tyrone. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a hold of you guys. I'm just trying to get some time together where I could get it, and I want to try to get like where you guys are available, we're available. So maybe we're gonna look into the weekend. We're gonna get together on Discord. I want to talk to you guys about a few things. So I will get a hold of you guys on that. I swear. But I did get everything from you. Yes. Vegas says Superman still talking about giving up his powers for old alcoholic looking Lois Lane is why women these days feel so entitled. Mark Malone, she was great in the bed at Vegas. Tyler Show, Oregon, Texas Tech, Louisville, 6'5", 219 pounds, drafted 40th overall. I see why there's potential there. Tortilla Derpy will never give up his powers. Somber hindsight is 2020. John says the current team will only bring back about 50% of its current players. No continuity makes them suspect. Vegas says dude thought he could get head from anyone, seeing how he was the head coach. Pronounced Shuck. Is that what it is, Somber? Shuck? It looks like Shock, Show, something like this, but Shuck. Tyler Shuck. Also, Somber finishes that up by saying I had him third on my QB list in front of Dart behind Shador. Mark Malone, I still can't believe Thunder made it socially acceptable to badmouth Renegade. Well, we made him apologize. Remember, we put an end to that. Vegas says we found one super fan, Supergirl fan, Derpy. We found her. Tyrone says no worries. Was just dude, absolutely right. I was thinking about you, and even like late at night, I thought, damn, I should at least got a hold of him and said let's shoot for the weekend. But I think, like I said, I want to make sure everybody's available so we could talk about things and stuff. Steeler Freak says no, Derpy, my friends would kill me, burn me, and roll my ashes in a blunt if I won the lottery. Guys, it is. It's time.
That's for everyone. That's everyone's Steeler Freak.
The Miami Dolphins. How well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponent? Portion of the show today, guys. This is the trivia. As we do every week, will be a trivia question about the team we're playing this week, and it is the Miami Dolphins. So we know different, guys. This is a Miami Dolphins trivia question. Derpy, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board. Before we do get started, I do want to say this. Make sure to go check out our website, guys, over at www.the2dumyinzers.com. There's a lot of cool things over there Mike puts up on the website. He does the Dum Yinzer thoughts. You can pull up any show that we've ever made out of the 867. Also, the links to all the shows, plus any communications you need to get a hold of us, anything like that, all that information is on there as well. Do check out the website at www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Here is the question of the day. Derpy, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, here we go. Question of the day. You ready, Derpy? I need your undivided attention. All
I'm
right.
here.
You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. 29 games played.
29.
29 games played. Who leads the Steelers Dolphins series all time? I'm going to give you a hint. It's 15-14.
Get out.
It is. Question of the day,
That's
guys.
crazy.
Dolphins question. Who leads the Steelers Dolphins series all time? 29 total games played. One team leads 15-14. Derpy. Who do you think?
No, I was not, Mike. Stop it.
Mike says Derpy was about to cheat. Tortilla saying the Steelers.
Miami.
Tyrone saying Miami as well. Is that who you want to stick with, Derby? Is that your final answer?
Yes, that is my final answer.
Vegas says the pre-answer was Mark Duper. Who was the other one? There was two Marks, right? Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. Tyrone says Miami. Got to go with us. Vegas is saying. Phil was saying the Dolphins. Tortilla, the Steelers. Take another moment. Throw your guesses up there, or if you know the answer, throw it up there as well. Again, guys, out of 29 games played, who owns the edge in the Steelers-Dolphins series, guys, as it is a 15-14 edge? Who has the slight edge? Can tie it up this week, depending on which way things go, guys. So, again, throw your answers up there if you have them. If you don't, throw a guess. Derpy, you did say Miami. All right, locking Derpy in. Here we go, guys. Out of 29 games, who leads the Steelers-Dolphins all-time series? It is a 15-14 edge by one team over the other. I got some Steelers. I got some Dolphins on the board. Vegas' Marino had 5,084 passing yards 40 years ago. What the fuck was he on? Marino is one of the best, man. Too bad he just never had a complete entire team around him to get it done. Guys, the answer is the team that had the 15-14 game edge in the history of this series between the Steelers and the Dolphins is, in fact, your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
The Steelers, 15 wins in the series. The Dolphins.
You track what years they were?
14 wins. I mean, you could pull it up. There's 29 different games.
Fair enough. Sure.
Yeah. Steelers, you know what? We're still kicking ourselves here in Pittsburgh, right? Armac?
Right.
He says Steelers should have drafted Marino. We know better. He's from Central Catholic. Went to Pitt. We should have known better. But there you go, guys. Let me get caught up. I don't want to leave anybody behind. Here we go. Vegas says you could just give me every Victoria's Secret model ever, and I'm not going to give up my powers. F that. As soon as I give up my ability to fly, they will complain that I can't fly no more. That's my logic as well.
That's great logic right there.
John says all I want for Christmas is a call-in show so I can match voices to these dickheads in the chat. Derpy was about to cheat.
No, it was not, Mike.
Tortilla, I'm going to SeaWorld to get his autograph. Vegas, I often wondered how things would have went if we drafted Dan. The 80s would have been a lot better, I'd like to think. We would have had Dan Marino, one of the better quarterbacks ever, instead of Bubby Brister. 7,071, mean but very funny.
Oh, that's cool, Ryan.
What's up?
What Ryan said.
Let's see. Armax says my dad said he tackled Marino and JV when he played for. Get out!
That's cool. That's really cool.
All right, you're not in Aliquippo, are you? You said your dad played there. That's cool. That's cool as hell, man. John says 79-71 asked for Flipper at the gate. So there you go, guys. Great job.
Another great show.
Absolutely. I appreciate everybody, guys. I do want to say a few things before we do get ready to wrap things up. If you haven't had a chance, okay, your dad's from there. Okay, gotcha, man. Vegas played JV. Marino played JV in 5th grade. All right, I do want to say this, guys. If you haven't had a chance, go check out our social media. We are all over the internet. You could go check us out at Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by and just hit the follow button. Keep up with what the two Dumb Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, hit the like button down below. You could also hit the subscribe button, the share, and leave a comment if you'd like. It all goes into the algorithm and helps us out. So we appreciate that. We also do want to say, what else do we want to say? I do want to say this. I do want to talk about our friends over at Duquesne Pilsner, guys. I know we got a big game coming up Monday, and I know that no Steelers throughout the weekend, but that doesn't change. You still like to drink a little bit of beer every now and then. Stop and get yourself a case for the weekend, and certainly for Monday night's football game. Get yourself a case of Duquesne Pilsner. The guys over at Duquesne Pilsner,
Duke.
they go out of their way to make sure they include us in a lot of their promotions, and we do appreciate them. And just show them a little love. Maybe you swing by any of their social media, hit the like button, follow button. But certainly consider stopping by and grabbing yourself a case for the weekend. It is some really good beer. We always have it here at the studio, and it's made right here in Pittsburgh.
Grab a Duke.
As it says on the can, Derpy, grab a Duke. You're right, baby. All right, here we go. I do want to say this as well. We are live. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 to 2 o'clock p.m., give or take, every day right here on the tube. Derpy, what about you? What do you got for me, brother, before we take off, man?
Other than that, I said earlier, catch me and Finch tonight, 7:30, Game Awards.
All right,
Let's
there you
go.
go, guys. Check out Finch and Derpy tonight at 7:30. Let me grab a couple more of these messages here. I'm going to go right here to where Mark says, man, I would have gave up my soul for that Victoria's Secret model that was Axl Rose's girl back in the early 90s. Rub many a nut out in less than 10 seconds to that chicken catalogs. Tortilla says they say dolphins are the second smartest animal, but this Tua guy keeps throwing up gang signs.
That might be cute ball.
Phil the Steel says, cheers, Watt fans, 90 haters. I got 2 words for you. Suck it. Trade what? Cody said Vegas. What makes a beer a Pilsner? That's a good question. I'm not the expert, but I just know that it tastes good. Vegas says the only drafted veteran leader on the O line on the O is Muth. Steeler Freak John says, who cares about Marino? We got Phil, and he broke his broken collarbone in high school. You know what? That was game ball worthy.
That's game ball.
That was really good, John. Game ball to John on the terrible board today. Congratulations. I do want to say thank you so much to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We really, truly do appreciate each and every one of you. We really, really, truly do. If we wouldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much. I do want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. We appreciate you. You are the lifeblood of this show. And finally, anybody that's at home, maybe at work, at the gym, wherever the case may be, even in the car, got your buds, your pods, whatever you got going on, we thank you too. And we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time. It's going to be a different kind of Friday. We might not do overs and unders tomorrow. We might wait till Monday, being that basically Monday is the Friday of the week as far as the Steelers go. So we'll see how we handle that tomorrow. But we will be back at our regular time. We hope to see everybody then. As we get ready to wrap things up, Derpy, one more time, say something entertaining and something to give everybody a nice send off for the day.
All right, I'll sing.
All right,
My favorite classic song.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go.
We're from the town with the great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Keep going, man. That was wonderful. Come on.
Winning's a habit, not only a dream. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, there you go, everybody. Sings like an angel, huh? Derpy, everybody. Guys, we thank you so much. I hope everybody has a safe Thursday. Stay out of trouble. Thank you, Tortilla, Cody, Armac, everybody. Tyrone got a laugh out of that. But again, guys, thank you so much. You are the most awesome. Sing Never Ending Story, Derpy. There you go.
I don't know Never Ending Story, unfortunately.
John says, I strongly recommend not looking up current pictures of past crushes unless you want night. Do you guys, real quick before we go, do you want to hear something? I wouldn't have even brought this up.
Shoot.
All right, real quick before everybody takes off. Something interesting. And maybe it's good that I brought it up at this point after some people already had left. I noticed over the weekend. Now, bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was on Facebook.
Oh, no.
And I stopped to look at a picture of somebody that I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
And she's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the picture, and I clicked on a picture. You know how it takes everything else away, just kind of bring the picture so you can look at it.
Close
So
up.
anyway, I don't know, maybe like a minute or two. Nothing crazy. I didn't, So anyway, later on that night, and this is where it gets weird. Later on that night, I pulled up Pornhub, for other reasons, of course.
And she's on there.
No, but every chick in the list looked like the chick I was looking at. I shit
crazy.
you not.
That's crazy, Ryan.
I shit you not. If you go onto Pornhub and you start scrolling, the chick looked like the girl I was ogling over on social media. Dude, I swear to you, why would I even bring this up?
Crazy, right? Why would you bring it up? That's
right.
Crazy.
Dude, I swear to you, every girl, I kept scrolling, they all had the same color. It wasn't like there was some redheads, there was some blondes, there was some blacks. There was nothing like that. They all looked like the girl. Some of them, there was other girls involved, but every one, the chick looked like, resembled the person that I was looking at on Facebook. So again, I don't know what that means. I
don't know. Coincidence?
I don't know. But maybe Corey, maybe
they'll figure out a theory.
Got to figure this out. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I just thought it was very peculiar because again, she looked a lot. These girls looked a lot like that girl.
Tortilla, look at tortilla.
Hey Alexa, look up Latinos near me. But that's what it was like. It was like our phones are getting way too smart. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. But again, so there you go, guys. I just wanted to throw that out there on this Thursday. AI coming in clutch is what Bingo said. Cody says Pornhub is awesome. Abel Danger, that goat. The throat goat Steeler says when men get old, they look like Sean Connery. When women get old, they look like Sean Connery. I got schooled by my phone's AI. Bingo says, guys, I do thank you so much for coming and hanging out today. You are the best. You are the best. You truly are. Guys, I tell everybody that all the time. True Thong, my man, what's up? He says, wow, TJ Watt's life is more important than football. Great seeing Truth today on the board. And also Bingo asked, he says, I asked to tell if my dogs are retarded. Steeler goth girls, I repeat, goth girls. Hope my phone got that. Guys, you are awesome, amazing as always. I hope everybody has a great day, a great Thursday. Stay safe. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time. We hope to see everybody then. For Derpy, Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. And this is for Cody, actually. Cody, I hope you catch this. We'll see you mañana. Have a great day, everyone.